Hey guys, well, I just finished putting together the Abba Patio 56 inch by 56 inch by 77 inch greenhouse. Now they reached out to me and asked me if I would review this for them, and I said sure. So they sent this to me. So I'm going to give you just a really quick review of my assessment of it. Now there are a couple things. I put this all together myself, and it took me about an hour and a half. If you have two people, it would go a lot quicker. Specifically, not just for assembling the metal, the frame, but for putting the lid on. The lid took me probably 15 minutes, just because you kind of got to get it up and spin it around and get your bearings. But I got that done, and I did it myself. Now this is, of course, the 77 inch, and I'm 6'2", so it wasn't much over my head to be able to put this together. But anyways, there are a couple things that I wanted to point out about it. When you're putting it together, when the metal bars go into the plastic, make sure that you don't tweak them or twist them at all. They have to go straight in. Some of them slid right in, and other ones, they didn't want to go in at all. And I just, with all my might, I had to actually put them on the ground and push them in. Other than that, it went together. It went together quickly. The instructions are just pictures. There's no words. But that way it's multilingual, right? And so they can ship it anywhere in the world. But the instructions are easy enough. They're a piece of cake, actually. There's no problems there. You just have to make sure that you look at the diagrams carefully, because they change as you go up in steps. So let me bring the camera in a little bit closer, and I'll show you a couple other things that I would change about it, that I would have liked to have seen, and give you my assessment of overall what I think about it. Okay, so now entering the greenhouse, to open this door, you have to unzip both sides of it, and then you roll it up, and you connect it with these two Velcro strips. Now you have to make sure that when you roll this up, you roll it nice and tight, otherwise you won't be able to, these aren't, you know, they won't connect because it's not long enough. I'd like to see these strips a little bit longer, because you have to take a little bit of time to roll this up, and so you can't do it quickly. You got to do it nice and tight. It would be nice to see these a little bit longer. Not a deal breaker though, no big deal. And now going inside, what holds this greenhouse to the frame, other than friction, there are 4 connectors. One on each corner. There's a Velcro connector there, and then one on every other corner. Now there are not any up here. It would be nice to see some up here in the corners, up higher. And the reason being, when this plastic gets warm, of course, you know, plastic, when it gets heated, it just tends to do whatever it wants. It would be nice to be able to kind of hold this here. It's probably not that big of a deal, because this whole plastic unit just slides right down over it, and it seems to be fine. But you know me, I overbuild everything and I overconnect everything, but that's just me. And then on these shelving units, there's 12 of these, and they just sit here like this. So you're going to have to take some zip ties and then just hold these down like this. Now when you get plants on here and pots, it'll probably hold it tight enough, but I'm going to go ahead that way. If I just happen to bump this, I won't lose it if there's no weight on these, and, you know, it won't fall off. And then, you know, who knows what, I'll probably step on it and bend it. And then let me go outside and show you the 2 ventilation windows. Okay, now on the outside there are 2 ventilation windows here, and they're just held down by Velcro, and then just like the door, you roll them up, and then they're held with these Velcro strips just like this. And I wish that they were a little bit bigger, because as far as ventilation goes, that's not much ventilation. As far as a cross breeze, it would be nice to have bigger windows, and then you get a better cross breeze. And then one thing that last thing actually that I would like to see, let me go back in here. I would like to see a ventilation window up here. The reason being, that is south, and we usually get we do usually get east and west winds, but sometimes we do get a south and north wind. In a greenhouse, when it heats up, at least with my 10 by 12, the heat goes right up to the top. And once the heat is up here, There's no way of getting it back down here unless you have a really good, strong cross breeze. So it would be nice to see a ventilation window here to exhaust the heat once it rises up and just gets too hot in here. It would be nice to be able to have a nice big ventilation window right there. But again, not a big deal breaker. And then, there is actually another thing I'd like to show you. If you see these connectors right here, you'll notice now some of these connectors, they slide right down in, no problem, nice and easy. But some of them are really hard to get in, and you have to really reef on them. And what happens, you'll see this white is stress on the plastic. So when you put these together, make sure that you don't tweak them back and forth, that you pull straight in and keep the pressure steady when they go in. Otherwise, if you don't, you will crack them. I cracked a couple of them because I was a little bit careless. So be careful when you do that, because that plastic is not seriously strong. So be careful of that. There are a couple of them that I did break and I duct tape them, and they're okay. I mean, there's plenty of connectors in here, but it would be nice if they did send like extra connectors, like an extra one of each of the different types. That way, if you break one, or one just happens to snap when you move this greenhouse around, I would like to see some extra connectors. Doesn't cost much money to throw a few in the box. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing else that I can really say about it, except I think it's well worth the money. Okay, well, here comes the wind and the rain, so I need to wrap it up. But this greenhouse, of course, is one of the smaller ones. And me being 6'2", I have to stand in the center. If I try to go one way or the other, of course, I kind of hit it and hit the sides. But if you're shorter, then this would work perfectly. It'll work okay for me because I'm not going to get all the way over here when I'm working, so not that big of a deal. But the one benefit to having the smaller greenhouse is if you don't like where this is, then you can just say sayonara and you're out of here. Okay, so that is my quick review of the Abba Patio greenhouse. Now, they've given me a code for all of my viewers to get this thing at 50% off. Now, the code's not going to last long, so this normally is it's less than 120 bucks, and they're giving all of my viewers 50% off, which makes it less than 60 bucks and free shipping. You can't beat that. So if you live in a warmer climate, you could use this thing all year long, and I could use this thing all winter in the middle of December, January, because it just doesn't get that seriously cold. We just got through with a nice big snowstorm, which was unusual for us. But in the colder climates, it's going to give you probably a month at the beginning of the season and a month at the end, so it's going to extend your season a couple months. So go out and take a look at it, look at the specs and look at the reviews and see what you think. I think it's well worth the money. So anyways, that's my quick review. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget, I'll put the link below. Go out and take a look at it, and for 60 bucks, I don't think you can beat it. All right, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you later.